Welcome to Basic Truth once again. I am Reverend Michael Godswe Ai, and we are still dealing with the topic: do Christians have to obey the Old Testament law? Now, I gave my answer when we started this video, but I wanted you to cope with me. I said that no, the Christian must not and should not follow the law of the Old Testament or the 10 Commandments with its ordinances. Now, I also said that the law is good, holy, and righteous. The commandment is good, holy, and righteous. There are other things I didn't even say. From the book of Romans, chapter number 7, where we read, verse number 12, it also highlights that the law is even spiritual, as Psalm 19 also says that the law is perfect. Now, if the law is perfect, if the law is spiritual, if the law is holy, if the commandment is righteous, if the commandment is good, why should we not follow it? Or why should the Christian not obey it? Now, let me show you something from the book of Hebrews. Hebrews chapter number 8, the verse number 8. I want you to see something striking over there. A very strong statement. Hebrews chapter 8, the verse number 8. Sorry for my delayance in typing. Now, Hebrews 8 says this, that finding fault with them, he said. Now, when they made the first covenant, where they had the law, because there is no covenant without a law. God made a covenant with the children of Israel on Mount Sinai, and there is no covenant made without a law. Now, when God made the covenant with them in Mount Sinai, the law was perfect. But that covenant that they made between Israelites and God, Israel or man was having a fault. What was that fault? The fault of man was sin. Man was programmed with sin. Man was possessed with sin. This made the law of God unable or unable to perfect the children of Israel. It made the children of Israel unable to be perfected. Now, this is one of the reasons why we are not and we should not obey the law. The Christian is not given the law of Moses to obey. Now, the Christian also have a law. We are not out of law. We have a law. The law we have is called the perfect law of liberty. And we will look into that one day. Or we'll look into that in some of the episodes that will come. The Christian have a law. It is called the law of liberty, the perfect law of liberty, or it is called the law of the spirit of life. We will look into that. But the Old Testament law, which is holy, perfect, and good, was not able to perfect man because man was having an error in him, was having a fault, and the fault in man was causing man not to be able to go according to the standard of the law or to obey the law. So let's look at something from the book of Jeremiah. The book of Jeremiah, chapter number chapter number 31. Now look at the verse number 31. It said that, behold, the day comes, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them, saith the Lord. So they break that covenant. Why? Because there was a fault in them. There was something that is causing them not to be able to go according to the standard of God. Now, let's look at something from the book of Romans. Romans chapter number 7. And you get it clearly. Romans chapter 7 verse 15. For that which I do I allow not. For what I would, that do I not. But what I hate, that do I. If then I do that which I would not, I consent unto the law that it is good. So you see, please pay attention to this one. For it is good. Now then, it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. That was the fault which was in man, causing man not to be able to do what the law says. So the law was not able to perfect any person because there was sin in the person. There was sin in man. But sin that dwells in me. Now look at the verse number 21. Paul said, I find then a law that when I would do good, evil is present in me. So what is that law? But I see another law in my members. You see? What is that law? Warring against the law of my mind. The law of my mind is the 10 commandments. Which 10? Remember what you read in Psalm 19. It turns or it turns the or it converts the person. That is in the mind. But there is a law in the body warring against the law of the mind and bringing me into captivity to the law of sin. You see it, the law of sin, which is in my members. So there is a law in the body of man called the law of sin. This law of sin causes the law of God, the 10 commandments with its ordinances. It causes it to be imperfect, or it causes it not to be able to perfect man. And this is the first reason why I am saying that the Christian should and must not go for the 10 commandments. I'll end this episode here. Wow. I'll end this episode here. And God willing, we will continue another time. God richly bless you. God promotes you. My name still remains Reverend Michael Godsway. Shalom. Peace. Bye-bye.